They come and go, but as women, we have to have a certain amount of respect for one another as to where, you're looking at a man like, regardless of what he told you, you have to get it together. And this too shall pass because Arionne been that bitch all her life.
You could feel the shift before anyone even said it out loud. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your chest feel heavy without warning. People around her noticed it first, the way Arionne stopped talking mid-sentence, the way her energy didn't match her usual fire. This wasn't the same woman people had watched defend, argue, and stand her ground for years. This time, she looked fragile. Not weak, not broken, just tired in a way that doesn't show on the outside until it suddenly does. Because this time, it wasn't about rumors. It wasn't about online drama or messy headlines. It was something deeper, something real. The kind of news that doesn't just shake your world, it forces you to see it differently.
No side bitch. That was my other woman. That was my other woman. Let's get that corrected. No, it wasn't no side, nothing. That was my other woman. And that's just what it is.
And when that news reached her, everything changed. The question everyone keeps asking now is simple. What do you do when the person you've held on to for years suddenly feels like they're slipping away for real? Not emotionally, not temporarily, but in a way that makes you realize you might not get another chance to say everything you've been holding inside. Because Arionne never thought her goodbye would come like this. Not in fear, not in confusion, and definitely not in silence. But life doesn't ask for permission when it decides to shift everything. And what came next, nobody was ready for. To really understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to go back to where everything started, because this wasn't just a relationship, it was a story filled with emotions people don't always admit out loud.
Nothing to see here. I will block him and be at his house in 10 minutes for lunch. Like, y'all, I'm telling you.
When Arionne first came into Martell's life, things were already complicated. He wasn't a free man, and everyone knew it. But what people didn't see was how quickly emotions can grow when two people connect in ways that feel real, even if the situation isn't right. At the beginning, it didn't feel like drama. It didn't feel like something that would turn into years of headlines and judgment. It felt simple, easy, like something that just happened. And that's how it pulls you in. Martell had a way about him, the confidence, the attention, the way he spoke like he meant every word in the moment. He made her feel seen in ways that stuck, and once that feeling settles in, it's hard to walk away from, even when logic tells you that you should.
Yeah, I'm live then.
No, it ain't. Oh, you forgot you were supposed to go live anyway. Remember?
Well, I just wanted to say hi to my people.
Arionne didn't plan to become part of something so messy. Nobody does. But feelings don't follow rules, and they definitely don't wait for perfect timing. Before she even realized how deep she was in, she was already emotionally attached. And that's when everything started to get complicated. People around her noticed. They questioned her decisions. They warned her about what this could turn into. But when you're inside something like that, the outside noise doesn't hit the same. Because behind closed doors, things feel different. There were conversations no one heard, moments that felt genuine, promises that sounded real at the time, and those moments became the foundation she held onto, even when everything else around her started falling apart.
But here's the part nobody talks about enough. Those same moments can become the reason you stay longer than you should.
It's the big D energy, we understand, LOL. I'd be happy.
She believed things would change, that eventually the situation would become clearer, more stable, more honest. She told herself that time would fix what felt uncertain, but time didn't fix it. It stretched it. Years passed, and instead of clarity, things became more complicated. The emotions got deeper, but the situation stayed the same. And every time she thought things were moving forward, something would pull them right back into the same cycle. And still, she stayed. Not because she didn't see the truth, but because letting go felt harder than holding on. Then came the moments that changed everything, but also didn't. Becoming a mother shifted her perspective in ways she didn't expect. It brought clarity, but it also brought more questions, because now it wasn't just about her feelings anymore. It was about building something stable, something real. And deep down, she hoped this would be the turning point. But what she hoped for didn't fully happen. The same patterns continued, the same distance, the same feeling of being present but not fully chosen. And that kind of emotional weight builds over time. It doesn't explode all at once. It slowly wears you down. Meanwhile, the outside world wasn't quiet about any of it. People had opinions, strong ones. Every move was judged, every decision was questioned, and instead of understanding, she was met with criticism that didn't leave room for her side of the story. But even with all that pressure, she stayed, because love, especially complicated love, doesn't always make sense from the outside. But here's where everything starts to shift. Recently, things around Martell began to change in ways people couldn't ignore. It wasn't just about relationships anymore. It wasn't just about public image or personal decisions. Something deeper was happening. People close to him noticed it first. The way his energy changed, the way he seemed distracted, distant, not fully present. There were moments where he didn't seem like himself at all. And at first, it was brushed off, until it couldn't be anymore. Then came the news. Not loud, not dramatic, just heavy. The kind of news that doesn't need details to be understood. The kind that makes your heart drop before your mind even processes it. Something was wrong. And when Arionne heard, everything inside her shifted. In that moment, none of the past arguments mattered. None of the pain, the waiting, the confusion. All of it faded into the background because fear replaced everything. Real fear. The kind that makes you realize how much someone means to you, even when the relationship itself was never simple. People who saw her during that time said she didn't look like herself. She wasn't loud, she wasn't defensive, she wasn't trying to prove anything. She was quiet, processing, trying to understand what this meant not just for him, but for everything they had been through together.
And for the first time in a long time, she stepped back. No social media, no responses, no reactions, just silence. Because sometimes silence is the only way to hear what you're really feeling. And what she was feeling was overwhelming. Because this wasn't just about losing someone physically. It was about the possibility of losing closure, losing answers, losing the chance to finally understand what they were and what they could have been. And that kind of uncertainty hits differently. When she finally spoke again, people expected anger, maybe even resentment. But that's not what they got. What they got was honesty. Raw, emotional honesty that didn't sound like anything people were used to hearing from her. She didn't attack him. She didn't defend herself. She didn't bring up the past. Instead, she spoke from a place of vulnerability that caught everyone off guard. She admitted that she loved him. Not in a dramatic way, not in a performative way, but in a quiet, real way that felt undeniable. She said she wasn't ready for this, that she didn't expect things to shift like this so suddenly. And then she said something that stayed with people long after the moment passed. She said she didn't know how to say goodbye to someone who was still here, but might not be the same. And that's when it hit. This wasn't just a goodbye. It was a release, a moment where she finally accepted something she had been fighting for years, that love alone wasn't enough to hold everything together. Her voice shook.
Not because she was trying to be emotional, but because she couldn't hold it in anymore. For the first time, people didn't see her as a headline. They didn't see her as part of a controversy. They saw her as a person, a woman who had loved deeply, waited patiently, and finally reached a point where she had to let go, not out of anger, but out of necessity, because holding on was no longer something she could survive. Behind the scenes, things remained uncertain. The situation wasn't something that could be fixed overnight. It forced everyone involved to reflect in ways they hadn't before.
And when he reached out, things became even more complicated. Because while he was trying to reconnect, she was slowly creating distance. Not out of spite, but out of growth. Because for the first time, she realized something important. She couldn't save him. She couldn't fix the past. And she couldn't keep sacrificing herself for something that never fully gave back what she needed. So she made a decision that took years to reach. She chose herself. She chose peace over confusion. She chose healing over waiting. And her final words weren't loud or dramatic. They were simple. She thanked him for the memories. She admitted that part of her would always care. But she also said she finally understood why life kept pushing her to let go of something she kept trying to hold on to. Because not everything is meant to last forever. Some people come into your life to teach you, not to stay. That moment didn't feel like defeat, it felt like acceptance. And acceptance is one of the hardest things to reach when love is involved. Now, everything is different. Not because the past disappeared, but because she finally stopped living in it. And the world is watching, not with judgment this time, but with curiosity. Is this truly the end of a chapter that lasted for years? Or is it just another pause in a story that's been hard to close? Nobody knows, but one thing is clear. This goodbye felt real. And sometimes the quietest goodbyes carry the deepest truth, because walking away from something that once meant everything takes more strength than holding on ever will.